So, Jaiden Smith, are you Will Smith's son? I think a lot of our viewers are wondering that.
Yeah, so I actually get this question a lot, and I got to clarify. No, unfortunately, I am not the son of Will Smith. If he was my dad, I'd be pretty embarrassed about how he slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah?
I still think about that sometimes, just slapping the shit out of Chris Rock.
That was a crazy moment, yeah. It was, I remember watching that on our Twitter at the time it was called. As it happened, I remember thinking, wow, I don't like Chris Rock or Will Smith, so I didn't really care about it. But I guess I prefer Chris Rock now because he was in a Saw movie. He's in the 9th Saw movie. Anyway, welcome to episode 3 of the Brothers Duel Podcast.
Let's go! Bro, we're about to get high. Bro, tell me we're about to get high right now. Oh my god, I'm so excited, bro. We're about to get high, bro. Let's do it,
Lexi Mexi, dude? The little shorty that lives across the street from Ricky's frat? Dude, she is the one! On guard!
Yeah, well, you know what? If Absol were here right now, he would smoke us up.
All of us Lone Wolf Sigmas have to stick together. Alright, Kurtlis, watch it. I'm going with 12. Because when I'm 12 deep, I actually have confidence, Kurt. I can talk to women!
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes, all right. Our intro song will happen here. Da-da-da-da. All right, now I'll go. Hello again, and welcome to episode 3 of the Brothers Duel Podcast. My name is Max Jasper. I am here with Jaiden Smith. He is a longtime collaborator of Brothers Duel, Nutty House. And Jaiden, I'm super happy that we're finally recording an episode with you.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So, for those of you who may not know, Jaiden is our day one guy. He has been making films with us since we started the Nutty House YouTube channel, and you were kind of the first person out of anybody in high school to really express interest in making stuff with us. But first, before we get to that, I want to talk about you. So I want you to tell the audience a bit about yourself, maybe like a fun fact that maybe not a lot of people might not know about you.
Yeah, so a fun fact about me that not a lot of people know, I would say I'm left-handed. I write with my left hand.
Yeah, you are left-handed, yes. We learned that. We just finished shooting a short film called The White Wolf, and we learned there's a scene where Jaiden's writing, and he was left-handed, so I was shocked to learn that. Now I want to talk about our connection, how we met. So I remember meeting you. At first, I remember as a freshman in high school, we went to the same high school, obviously, Robbinsdale Cooper High School, home of the Hawks. I remember seeing you in the hallway, and I thought you looked very familiar to me. I was like, well, how do I know this guy? Because I didn't know who you were, but you looked a lot like a childhood friend of me and Luke's, his older brother. You looked a lot like him. I was like, okay, is this? But I knew you weren't him because I was like, okay, this other guy is taller, and I was like, okay, but I was just always intrigued by you, and then. Beginning of sophomore year in the summer, my grandpa forcefully drove me to a cross-country captain's practice, and there you were, and I met you then.
Yeah, so, I joined cross-country.
Yeah, why did you join?
Honestly, I was kind of during my, high school years, I was always trying different things, I was in the band, the marching band, the jazz band. I was really big into band. I played the alto saxophone for 4 years.
Yeah.
But, other things I tried was Nordic skiing, lacrosse, swimming for a bit.
Yeah.
And I even took part in one of the musical productions, which I had a lot of fun with. But
yeah,
I would say that cross country was my favorite. Just because I enjoyed running, and there was this feeling during the meet that I always got it felt really cool just running in a pack of I don't know how many kids there were. Probably it felt like there was 100 probably.
The big meets, yep.
Yeah, but just running in that pack, it just feels cool, But
yeah,
I would say the reason I joined though was because of a certain group of people who I always kind of wanted to fit in with.
Yeah. So I kind of want to talk about, because your first year cross country was your junior year of high school, and it was my sophomore year because you're a year older than me in school. So how was that first season for you as a junior entering? Because obviously, junior, that's an upperclassman, but it was your first year, so obviously there was probably some discomfort there joining as an upperclassman. Kind of talk to me about that process and how that first season went for you.
Yeah, so I first started running at Cooper during the summer. I think it was like summer 2018 was my junior year.
Yep.
And yeah, I went to the captain's practices. I woke up every morning during the summer and I rode my bike to Cooper.
Yep.
And now on the way on my route to Cooper, there was always like this big hill. But yeah, it was super annoying to get up every single day, but that's besides the point. My experience during the captain's practice, it was different, It was very physically challenging for sure, because I wasn't ever used to running like that for distance. So it took me so long to actually get conditioned. And as I kept running, I progressed a lot, and I would say it was fun to run out in the summer. Everybody was doing tarps off. It was a good feeling, just getting that air, just very, very good and healthy. And the first year when the season actually started, my first ever meet, I got 28 minutes for a 5K, which is pretty bad if you ever ran cross country. And
yeah, Luke is here. He just laughed. Luke.
Sorry, Luke.
Luke, 28 minutes. Luke would be happy with that time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That was probably my PR when I was a sophomore.
Yeah. But so your first meet was 28 minutes. Was that Monticello?
It was not Monticello. It was
Gale Woods.
Was it Gale? It's the one where you go up the hill, you run across.
Gale Woods, yep.
Yeah, Gale Woods is my first one during the summer, and my last meet, I ended the season with hitting 22 minutes. I think
that's
was
insane.
my.
You dropped 6 minutes off your time throughout the season.
Yeah.
Did you run any varsity races that year? Because I remember you're mostly a JV guy that year.
Yeah. So yeah, that was actually my second season. I started running varsity my senior year.
Yeah, which will transition to that. But before that, Jaiden, I want to mention that you and I, we joined the team. We became friends. I don't want to say we became friends because I don't know. I don't think we were really friends.
We were acquainted.
We were acquaintances, yeah. But then we had Spanish class together. Me, you, and another friend of yours, who you're still friends with to this day, Danny. The three of us sat together in the back of Spanish class, and I thought you were fine, but then there was this one day where we were taking this test, and I look over at your paper for some reason. I kind of glanced over and I noticed you're copying me exactly what I'm writing down, and I'm like, oh my freaking gosh! I was so annoyed. So I'll be honest, I wasn't your biggest fan, and when I first knew you, because I don't want to say I hated you right away. I don't want to say hate. I don't want to say I disliked you right away, but I just was I didn't really know this guy's vibe. But then during the next year cross country, that's when I realized that that older crowd that you were talking about that I really wanted to be a part of as well. I was I don't need to try and impress these guys. I can just be myself, and I was a lot happier. And I feel like you did the same thing too during that second season of cross country. So kind of talk to me about that, because obviously you went from a JV runner to a varsity runner that year.
Yeah, so my senior year, I really picked up with the running, and I actually made more effort. But I forgot which meet it was, but I kind of had this rival, and he was kind of the same.
He was my high school rival. Yeah, we won't say his name, but I know who. Yep.
I would say he's you were rivals for high school in general. I would say this guy was my rival just for running, cross country. I always wanted to beat him in the meets, But it was one meet, I don't know where it was, but our coach, he asked me hey Jaiden, you want to run varsity? I'm like, yeah, I want to run varsity. So I'm I was super excited. It was my first ever varsity race. And, I didn't know what to expect, but obviously it was a whole, different game, going from JV to varsity, the level of competitiveness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because for most of the JV races that I've done, I always finished probably not first place, obviously, but I would say fourth, one of the first quarters of
Yeah, like 20, 30 is like that kind of thing.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. But my first one, I was probably one of the last people. But luckily enough, I tried really hard, and I beat my rival.
Yeah, I remember that. Because I remember I was running in that meet with you at that same race, and that was, I think that one out of all the team, I got first place, but just I got a ribbon on that meet, the 23rd place.
Really?
Yeah, so I got 23rd place in that meet on that varsity race, and Ben, who was our boom operator, he was also on the team. That's how we met. He got 25th place, so he and I both got pictures. We got our pictures taken with our ribbons. I went up to my mom, was like, "Hey, Mom, your kid ever get 23rd place before?" And I got a ribbon. They handed me a ribbon when I crossed the finish line. So I was like, "That's really cool." But anyway, so obviously that year, that's when you met Luke too, and you started being more social, I think, that year with cross country, and I think I just detected with you a lot of growth, character growth. I feel like you really figured out who your people were. And that was a really kind of neat thing to see, especially after the previous season where you didn't really know that. But I want to kind of ask you, because you joined the swim team for how long did you join the swim? Because a lot of us cross country guys also did swimming. So this was my second year on the swim team. So you just joined the swim team. So talk to me about the swim team.
Yeah, so I joined the swim team as a senior in high school.
First year senior. Yep.
And I was probably a part of the team for like less than a month.
Less than a month, okay.
Yeah, so my experience with swimming, wow. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I mean, it was like fun. Like I was horrible at it. Like I couldn't get like all the strokes down, but I was just honestly having fun.
Yeah.
I was just hanging out, swimming, having fun and whatnot. It got pretty like crazy at times.
Yes, the swim locker room. Let's just say it got a little messy. Jaiden, you were almost hit in the face with a swimsuit filled with fecal matter.
Yeah, it was a shitty situation.
Literally. So was that the point where you're like, I'm done with swimming, I'm gonna move on to something else, or was that?
I mean, that wasn't really my breaking point. Like, I didn't really think much of it, which, looking back at it now, like, I feel like I should have made a huge deal out of it.
Well, I was right
like,
there. You were inches away from getting hit in the face with it.
Yeah, and, like, dude, if I got, like, actually, like, hit, like, I honestly, like, don't even know what I would have done.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
But, so you did swimming for less than a month, and then you joined the winter musical, which was Ragtime.
Yeah, Ragtime.
So tell me about Ragtime.
Yeah, so the reason I joined Ragtime is because one of my good friends, I'm gonna mention his name because me and Bax both know him. He's been a part of some of the videos.
Yes.
Luke
Renstrom,
yes. So I was in concert choir too at the time, and so is Luke. And the musical director, whatever her name was, she makes an announcement to the choir class like, hey, we need more people for the musical. And now Ragtime, it's kind of a political and it's like a racial commentary too. It's a musical about racial injustice in America in the 1910s, so over 100 years ago. So she said that she specifically needed white people to act racist. Now this didn't spark my interest, obviously. Sure. I wouldn't. I mean, sure, but I don't really want to do that.
Sure.
But I tried it out, because why not, right?
And obviously swimming, you weren't enjoying that very much.
Yeah, no. But yeah, my first day of swimming compared to my first day participating in the musical, it was just such a breath of fresh air because
Sure.
Everybody was getting along together. There was no inclusiveness or anything exclusiveness, whatever. Sure. Everybody was just all friends with each other and stuff, and it's my first day, meeting a lot of new people because there's a lot of people a part of the production, and I went a few times and I had a choice. I could either only do a few scenes in the musical, just help, or I can commit and go all in, right? So what I did is I chose the musical. I was like, hey, put me in as many scenes as you want. I'm here for this. So pretty much during the end of the production, I pretty much was a supporting role and made a cameo in almost every single scene of the actual musical.
You and Luke, I remember seeing both of you on stage. I'm like, oh, they're my guys, But yeah, that was really cool. Was that your first time ever acting like in something? Because that's something that I mean, I did improv in high school, which I was acting in front of a crowd, but you actually had to memorize lines and everything like that. So tell me about like that. Because was that new for you, or was that something that you had already done?
It was definitely like my first time doing something like that. However, it wasn't like my first time like actually like acting, I would say. Now, I'm gonna talk about when I was younger. I was a part of this organization. It was called DeMolay. And when you join DeMolay, you get put through a degree, which is basically like a play about. It tells the story of Jacques DeMolay, who gave up his life rather than betray, his brethren, right? Because he was like captured. He was like one of the last of the Knights Templar, and he was like captured by like I forgot who, like the French king or something.
Sure.
And then he just like ends up just like dying on a stake, like set to fire. But that was my first time, having experience like acting and stuff like that, which compared to, the musical, it was a lot smaller and a lot less professional, I say, because a lot of people didn't really care about that when I was in the organization. But, there's obviously passion and people care about it when we were doing ragtime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So right after ragtime happened, COVID hit.
Yeah.
COVID hit and kind of shut everything down. And so that's when, I started making the cooking videos. And I was promoting that on my Snapchat, Instagram. And you swiped up and you said, I want to be in one of your videos. So what made you decide you wanted to start making stuff with us? You wanted to be a part of it?
So I always had a passion for making videos, I would say. Like, it was also kind of my thing as well. Like, I liked making my own. And I actually used to have a YouTube channel of my own back in the day.
Yeah.
It does. Well, it's like I kind of made it more private. Like I changed the name, but
Yeah.
the name used to be called Your Boy 1X. And what I would like make is if you ever were like into Minecraft when you were younger, there was this one YouTube. His name was Galaxy Goat, and he made like a bunch of parodies to all these like popular songs at the time, like Tunnel Vision by Kodak Black, or like Broccoli by Lil Yachty. Just like he made popular like songs at the time, like the 2016 era, but made it Minecraft parodies.
Interesting.
And then what I did is I made a diss track about Galaxy Go, because like I wanted like to start like stir up the pot, maybe like get famous, because I made a diss track about Galaxy Go, which my videos actually got like a decent amount of views. I remember like my first two got almost like 1,000. I was actually like getting comments, I was getting a lot of interaction with it too as well. And even this smaller YouTube channel went out of his way to like make a video between the beef of me and this like one guy, because I made a diss track, because on my comment section there's this one kid. He was like talking shit about my diss track. So I made because he was also like another Minecraft YouTuber.
Okay.
And what I did is I made a diss track about him too.
Oh my gosh.
Just roasting him. And then so the other guy like goes out of his way. He makes like a whole YouTube like essay like explaining the beef between me and this random kid. It was so fun. Like I felt like I was actually like getting like famous, like recognition and stuff. It was a good feeling. But the reason I kind of stopped is because like people at school kind of discovered it, and they were making a lot of fun of it. And I mean, I will say like the videos, like the diss tracks I made, they're pretty bad. Like they were cringe, like the lyrics, and like, I mean, they weren't that bad, but it was very, I would say, cringy, which, looking back at it now, it doesn't even matter,
Yeah,
who
I think
cares?
everyone around our age looks back at our old work and goes, "Oh, that's cringe." Like, on the Nutty, there are some videos on the YouTube channel that are privated or unlisted because I don't want anyone seeing them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it. So the first video, do you remember the first video you're in on the YouTube channel?
I sure do. I wasn't actually in the video, but my voice was recorded.
Yes.
I was something Rodriguez.
Paul Rodriguez.
Paul Rodriguez. I was
in Fizbin episode 2.
Yeah, so in Fizbin, my role is Paul Rodriguez was like your boss. Like I was like getting you the gigs for your like to act like the Fizbin.
I played Fizbin the clown, and so I watched that clip today when I was writing the script for this podcast, and something I noticed is Luke is laughing his ass off when we're filming the phone call conversation scene in the car, because obviously like I told Luke, I'm like, oh, Jaiden from cross country, he's interested in making stuff with us. But like obviously it was COVID, so we didn't want to bring you out.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we'll just have a voice roll and see how he does. And Luke was laughing. We both thought you were hilarious. So we're like, all right, we got to get Jaiden back in something. So then I came up with this video idea called Whatever Happened to Alex from Target, where I played Alex from Target, the guy who went viral about 10, 15 years ago for nothing but his looks. And I pretended like I was this SoundCloud rapper gangster guy, and that you played my best friend, Braden. Mm-hmm. And that's another one where Luke was filming and laughing hysterically during your performance because you pulled me into a ravine while I'm hanging off of it, which is absolutely insane. But then after that, we did the catfish video. Do you remember that? You remember the catfish video?
Of course. It's probably one of the most underrated videos of all the Brothers Duel productions.
Yes, it's called Parents Catfish Their Son. It is a parody of the TLC Catfish, and Jaiden plays my character's dad. So my character is the one getting catfished, and so Luke Renstrom, who Jaiden mentioned earlier, creates this fake account to catfish me, just to try and like lure me in to see like how predators do things in the real world. But instead, my character totally freaks out. Your character, you did some great improv with Fallon, who played, your wife, my character's mother. And I think at the time that was the most fun that we had making something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one was just kind of. It was 2020. It was like mid 2020. People were still social distancing, obviously, but like that one, we actually got like a small group of people together to make that, which was really fun. And I remember I posted it, and people were like, "Oh, I love this," and I remember you promoted it too, and people liked it. So that was super cool. And then you reprised your role as Paul Rodriguez in Fizbin the Clown Season 2, which Luke wrote and directed, and you were in Episode 5, and your voice was in the role, but also it was a FaceTime call. You're just a real quick cameo. So I don't really think that one is really significant to talk about. But one I will talk about is the next one, which is you were in the third Robbinsdale video we did called The Aftermath of the Robbinsdale Mayoral Debate, where you played the new write-in candidate named David Ulbrich. So I'm just going to ask you this, Jaiden. Did you have any idea what was going on in the Robbinsdale political world?
No, not at all. Like I didn't even think of. I always thought like city stuff like that. Unless if it's like a big major city like Minneapolis or like something like New York or just like any big major city in the country. I thought like cities like Crystal, Plymouth, Brooklyn Center. Was like irrelevant compared to that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you played David Ulbrich, the write-in candidate, and then you reprised that role in the fourth Robbinsdale video called Regan Murphy versus Wally Langfellow. And then another one that I forgot you were in on here is called the Hennepin County Squirrel Epidemic. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, you guys were just like recording me like right in front of my garage because
I don't think we recorded you because someone else recorded you because I remember they recorded you wrong. They recorded you vertically, and so we needed it horizontally. So we had to like just really zoom in on that shot.
I think Danny recorded me for that.
Danny?
Yeah.
I remember you have one line and you were like, "I didn't even know squirrels existed." It was just like so stupid because that's a parody of a squirrel news report that CCX Media, which is the local news station in the Hennepin County, Robbinsdale, Crystal area, made. And then you reprised your role as Braid in the Alex from Target sequel. Do you have anything to say about the Alex from Target videos?
I had a lot of. I think the sequel to the first one is a lot better. I had a lot more fun recording that one too.
Yeah, I would agree. That one.
It got taken down though.
It did get taken down. Yeah, a little funny story. So that one was originally called Alex from Target joins QAnon because the first one was called Alex from Target. Whatever happened to Alex from Target. And in that thumbnail, I found a photo of a guy who looks like Alex Target from behind with handcuffs behind his back, and I wrote on the thumbnail 22 life sentences. So people would click on the video just like a clickbait thumbnail. I was like, I'm gonna see if this works, and it did. People watched the video, but they hated it. And so for when we did the Alex from Target sequel, I was like, all right, I have to do that same thing again, even though people hated it. So I titled it Alex from Target joins QAnon. And in it, in that film, Alex and Braden, so you and I, are like denying that COVID even exists. And so the reason why that video got taken down was because there's a scene in it where you're like, bro, COVID, that's all cap, man. That's not real. That's cap. Which obviously COVID's very real. But YouTube took down that video, and I got a warning strike, not a strike, but a warning, saying that like it was misinformation because I don't think it understood that we were playing characters. We were not, we're giving our real opinion on it. It was just us playing silly, goofy characters. So yeah, so that second one was a lot of fun because you had to do a fight scene with Luke Renstrom. We got to get tied up in the back of his car. That was a funny video. And then after that, we made you helped us make the most popular video on our channel to date, the Outsiders parody.
Yes. So that was probably one of our bigger productions. I don't know if it was as big as the Weed Wizard with the amount of people we had like helping out.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but we had, a ton of people we knew from high school, and yeah, like I honestly did not expect it was going to be as big as it got.
Yeah, that one, because at the time, Luke and I were talking about it the other day, it was just another video for us. And I guess what's special about that one, I guess, to me, is that that's everybody in that video was on the cross-country team with us. Everybody was on it. I mean, you obviously had graduated at that point, but everyone else was like I was the captain my senior year, and we filmed that the day before I walked and graduated high school. So all those guys were, the runners on the team. I called them, I was about to say my runners, but they were the team's runners. And then, so yeah, we made the Outsiders parody. Jaiden, you played Soda Pop, and I will say now you will have the leading role in this Outsiders parody 2 as Soda Pop, which we're looking for. We're going to shoot that sometime in the summer this year, which we're really excited to do. And then after that, you were in one more video with one more Nutty House video. It was called The War of Whiz Bang Days, which is another Robbinsdale one. Robbinsdale versus Crystal. This one, you played Crystal Mayor Jim Adams. Did you know who that was?
No.
He was the mayor of the town you grew up in. You didn't know who he was. But yeah, it was just a role that we wrote for you, and you did it, and you whatever. Like, that was great. After The War of Whiz Bang Days, you were not in another video because I went off to college, you went off to college. And then we reunited back up in May of 2022, and me, you, and Luke were paid to be in a short film called Stakes is High.
Yes, to this day, I had the most fun out of anything we've done filming Stakes is High.
Yeah,
because we didn't have to like worry about
behind the scenes stuff. Like,
it was just us three.
Yeah, it was just me, you, and Luke were just all the lead actors in it, and that was a super cool experience for us because we just got to just say the lines. We didn't have to worry about because at that point it was I think me and Luke's first time being in a project that we weren't involved behind the scenes with. So I was just like, all right, we just get to act and get paid and get out of there. Which, I mean, they were really cool guys, and I wish we got to know them more. But after that, Jaiden, we didn't see you for 2 years. So what happened during that 2-year period where we just didn't see you?
Yeah, so during those 2 years, I was just off living in Mankato, just kind of going to college, doing my thing. Mm-hmm. And, honestly, as I reflect my time in Mankato, part of me kind of regrets, like, moving down there a little bit. But obviously, I experienced, like, so much, and I met so many great people who I have in my life right now because I lived in Mankato for a while. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I just feel like I wasted a lot of my time in Mankato just like partying and wasn't really like focused on my education like I should have been. Mm-hmm. Like I kind of feel like in a way I kind of like lost my sense of self a little bit. And when I moved, I don't think I was like ready at all. Like I didn't even have a license or a car, for God's sakes. But I mean, not a lot of people get that, but yeah, I mean, I feel like there's just better stuff I could have been doing. Like I had such a good thing going like up here. Like, I was doing videos with you guys. Like I wanted to invest my time into doing that because I honestly, like, I always had this, like, feeling when you guys, like, first started your YouTube channel, like, I knew you guys were consistent that, like, it could one day, like, actually be big. And I would have been, like, honored to be a part of that. So that, Max, is one of the reasons, like, the main reasons why I reached out for the first time asking to be in the video because I wanted to be a part of something that I thought that could have been great, you know?
Well, that means a lot to me. Thank you. And Luke as well. I guess I want to just backtrack to your Mankato years. So what are, I guess, some of the biggest takeaways you have from living down there? Because you were in a fraternity, and you said you mostly just, did a lot of partying. Like, what would you, like, say to somebody who's thinking about going to college for maybe the reasons that you went? What would you kind of say to kind of give someone some advice about, like...
If you want to go to college for the experience, I would say don't go to college, like move to the college town instead. That way you'll save so much money. You'll like live around the campus. And even if you want to, you can enroll in like a community college like right next to like the big campus. So that way like you can like study, like utilize like the big like university libraries and whatnot. Like you can like go like, you can still go to like frat parties, just like anything like that, and like really have that college experience, but for a lot cheaper. And yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't say don't hold on to it for too long. I feel like that's a big thing. Like a lot of people, they go to college and they just like never want to leave because they had like too much fun and they like reminisce about it way too much. But obviously, go out, live on your own, be young. I feel like it's just so important to be like young and dumb and clueless for a period of time, because how else are you going to like learn to like, how are you going to learn about life if you don't like allow yourself to like mess up so many times and like make mistakes?
And you, would you say that your Mankato, the time in Mankato, the 2 years was that 2 years you spent there?
About like 2.5.
2.5 years. Was that like, did you learn a lot about yourself in that period of time? Like, like, did you feel like, because when I lived on my own in a dorm, I learned a lot about myself and how I, approach things and whatnot. Did you feel like you had that same experience or not? Or
I don't know. I feel like I didn't really do a lot of personal growth in Mankato, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's probably the years after that.
Like the years after?
About yourself.
Yeah. I would say I've been learning a lot more about myself, like within these last 2 years that I've been living back up in the cities and like doing other stuff than I have been in Mankato, because I used to like when I was in Mankato, I used to just smoke weed all the time to the point where I just like felt like kind of dependent on it, because like I used to smoke like almost all day, every single day. Like I just wanted to get high. I wanted to get high, but like, and I wanted to get like, drunk, and like it was bad for my body, but I don't know. Yeah.
So after that 2-year hiatus, Luke and I we started up the Nutty house again because we kind of took a break from it as well. And we always wanted you to get back in something. We understood that you were in Mankato, but then you said, I'll come up for this weekend because we had the cross-country alumni meet. So Luke had this idea called Doppelgangers. So we filmed Doppelgangers, and we had the alumni meet after we filmed that day. And I just want to ask what your approach was during that alumni meet, because you went out. So the alumni meet was 2 miles. You went out really hard in the beginning, and then gassed out. So what was the approach there?
No, well, because that summer, right, I actually picked up running a lot. But during like that last month of like August, like middle of July, I just kind of like got burnt out and I just like completely stopped. But I kind of knew that there was like, that there was the annual alumni meet. So like as I was running, I was kind of thinking about that. Like I just thought it'd be like so cool, like if I improved my running a lot, and I just like, had a really like fast time, and I beat some people, but like I obviously didn't do that, but that's whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, that was kind of my, I wouldn't say like motivation, but I just thought it was like a good reason to like just like get my body moving again. But like even before then, like just during the summer, like just one random day, I was sitting on the porch and I was actually listening to the song "Upside Down" by I forgot who it was by, but it was like the song from that Curious George movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I know. I feel like that's where most people know that song from, is that Curious George movie. But I was just listening to it on my AirPods, and like the song, it just like felt like so like wholesome, and it just like made me in like such a good mood. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go on a run.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, And there was like this like lyric as my mind begins to spread its wings, and I felt like as I'm running, like it's really like training, like helping in the intensity of like discipline with my mind and stuff. But like, yeah, I was just like listening to that song one random day. I'm like, I'm gonna go run now.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And then we did Doppelgangers, which, because obviously it had been 2 years since you had seen us. What were your thoughts on what we had been doing? Because obviously beforehand we'd been filming with, you saw us filming with our iPad, our iPhone, but then when 2 years later you saw us, we had actually a camera and a person filming with the camera. So what were your thoughts on like that?
I was shocked on how big of an upgrade that you guys invested in, to be honest. Like, I knew you guys were gonna like try to like get better equipment eventually, but like I didn't know you were like gonna go like all in on buying like a $3,000 camera.
Yeah,
you know,
Canon
like,
C100. Yep.
Yeah, no, I thought the camera was really impressive when I first saw it. I was like, wow, these guys they're really doing it. You know, they're going all in, and I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah, I love it. And so the film you did after Doppelgangers was Kurt and Waylon, which that is your character now, Waylon. So how did you feel when we did Kurt and Waylon, like when we shot that? Because obviously you had read the script, you knew it was kind of about a frat character trying to hook up, but obviously failing to do so. So what was your kind of approach to Waylon, and how do you think that's kind of changed from who the character is now?
Yeah, so Kurt and Waylon episode 1. How I kind of approached it was just like kind of using some of my experience from like Mankato and stuff, but I feel like as I kept on acting as well, like I know his character, he's like a douchey, misogynistic, like sexist, like frat guy, you know, just like a stereotypical frat guy, you know?
That's what he is.
And yeah, that's kind of what I did, but there is like some points where it was like, I feel like I need to do like change something, like be better about how I act.
Yeah.
About Waylon, of course, you know.
Yeah.
But as we just got done filming the White Wolf, right?
Yep. Just today.
I tried to really like change my way of acting by emphasizing my words more, like maybe like, you know, slowing down a little bit.
Enunciating, articulating.
Articulating, yeah, because one critique I actually got when Soberman released is like, Jaiden, you should really work on your articulation of words.
Really?
Yeah. And I kind of noticed that through a lot of videos that we do, like when I like speak, right? Like you can hear like the words I'm saying and you can understand it, but it just doesn't like, I feel like it can be like said better, like in a better way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I am the same way. And every time, like before I have an acting role, like I do vocal exercises that are taped in my room, and I do all these like la 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 pata kapa, you know, I do all these things just to warm my voice up so I can articulate my speech well. Because I'm like, yeah, sometimes, you know, like right now I'm not articulating super well. But anyway, after Kurt and Waylon, you helped us. You were in, this was the first project you were in where Luke and I were not really in charge of the behind the scenes stuff. You just had a cameo in it, but it was called The Short Film That Goes Wrong. You reprised your role as Waylon in it, and that was, you were there for a single day of shooting. So that one was just real quick, but you met a lot of great people on that set.
Yeah, so I was actually excited because it was like, during that time, it was like spring, you know, the weather was finally starting to like get better. And I was just kind of excited to like walk around the U of M campus because like I usually, you know, like to walk around there. It's big, it's cool, it's like a nice little city within a city, you know. But my experience, I'd say, I met so many cool people who I became friends with, which I was one of the main reasons I was glad to help out. But to be honest, I didn't really have a lot of fun like actually like filming the short film because like I don't really want to talk, you know, bad about it because
I remember that day was a pretty long shoot.
The people who were a part of that film, they worked very hard on like putting it together. So I don't want to like, you know, put it down too much, but I felt as if it was pretty like unorganized with like the scenes and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That kind of brings us to the next project you were a part of, which I'm going to ask, do you even know what, did you even know what Phantom Leap was?
No, I honestly, it was just like one of those things where like, all right, let's just do it. I just kind of like went with it, you know?
Yeah. Phantom Leap, that was the stupidest idea. And next came, a lot of people our age, a lot of people who worked on The Short Film That Goes Wrong also worked on this one and love it, is The Weed Wizard.
Yeah. So I thought The Weed Wizard was a hilarious film, and I was so excited to like show everybody. And Max, I got to be honest with you. I really wish you made the video public.
Yeah.
Because I can understand your point of view when you like first announced about it, about how like you wanted it to be like maintain a more like professional look on your YouTube channel, but like what's the point of like making these big projects if not everybody can see them, like
Yeah.
you guys are YouTubers, like make YouTube videos, and I honestly just think it's such a shame, we made like I thought The Weed Wizard was a masterpiece, and not and only people with the link could see it. It should be open to the public. Same with the Midnight Special,
Yeah.
And
Which is next, yeah.
I know there's like certain things that like hold you back from like posting content with like the stuff we like make videos about, like the content itself like may be deemed like inappropriate or like kind of offend some people,
Yeah.
but like I feel like if it offends someone, it offends someone,
Yeah, and
that's on them.
I don't think The Weed Wizard or the Midnight Special, they weren't written with the intent of, okay, we're trying to make this offensive. Like, at the end of the day, they're just really goofy short films, kind of like the Robins videos are. Like, they're just goofy. They're not meant to be taken seriously. There's no, like with The Weed Wizard, there's no like hidden message within the lines or whatever. It's just like us having a good time. And I guess the reason why I didn't post or make The Weed Wizard public right away was because, or I guess still not public to this day, is because I just was like, I don't want people to like Google my name and see like, oh, The Weed Wizard, what's this? Because obviously like there's no actual weed in it. There's no marijuana. It's just about guys taking edible gummies, but not everybody sees that as a good thing. And I'm not saying that we glamorize use of it. If anything, we're like more anti than glamorizing it, but.
Yet Soberman is public.
Yeah.
But no, maybe that's gonna be something to consider. The Weed Wizard and the Midnight Special.
Well, here's the question, quick. Who would you be concerned about seeing it?
I just like right now I'm in a kind of a weird spot. I just graduated from college and I'm trying to find a job.
Yeah.
And with these background checks these employers take, like obviously there's no dirt on me on the internet, but like, if they like see like Max Jasper wrote and directed the Weed Wizard, what the hell is this? And like, obviously I don't think it would take I don't think someone would watch it and go, that's horribly offensive, but I think maybe looking at the title, they might go, what's this? And like see the thog line and
Who knows, Max? It could get you a job.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a video, and you graduated with a degree in film production, and that's a film you produced.
Screenwriting.
Oh,
But
screenwriting.
I also helped write the film, which is Luke actually wrote the first draft of The Weed Wizard. But yeah, so yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. That's going to be a lot to consider. And I will perhaps The Weed Wizard and the Midnight Special will be public at some point. I'm not going to say they're going to be unlisted forever. I'll say that.
Okay.
Next, that brings us to Soberman, which is our latest release on the Nutty House, which is a parody of the new Superman movie. So, Jaiden, what were your thoughts on Soberman?
Yeah, I thought Soberman was a great idea, and I think it's awesome that it's kind of like leading into like another trilogy of Kurt and Waylon adventures. Soberman, the White Wolf, and future projects.
But yeah, so this weekend we filmed The White Wolf, which is a parody of the Batman, with Jaiden. We shot in our apartment here, like some scenes of him yesterday, scenes of him like writing in his notebook like Batman does in the Batman, and then Luke and I actually went to the U of M Dinkytown area, went to Sally's Saloon with you, Jaiden, and filmed you in there, and we saw some pretty crazy things. You witnessed a fight.
I witnessed multiple fights that night.
Yeah, last night. Yeah.
Yeah, last night, like just in the middle of the bar, just like these two guys would start throwing hands, and like everybody's like trying to get out of the way, so like this big circle forms, and like more people just trying to square up for some reason.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then Luke and I witnessed a gentleman puke right in front of us.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, whoa. But yeah, it was. I found Sal's Saloon, which we're actually in the Kurt and Waylon universe. That's the Hookup Lounge. We've just decided that, and we were like, John was like, oh, that's just our buddy John who was there. He was like, oh, that's just a typical night at Sal's. And I'm like, okay, so that sounds like that kind of thing happens there a lot, where like a freshman will puke. So yeah. Now I want to talk about the Jaiden Smith of today. So, what are you like? What's your current job right now? What's your experience like? And what are your kind of goals and aspirations for kind of the future for you?
Sure. Yeah, so Jaiden Smith today. He works in Cedar Rapids, Iowa as a concrete laborer for Mortensen Construction.
That's oddly, you love it.
Yeah, so what my job consists of is, we pour concrete and I rake it to like get on like make it like somewhat flat to get it on level to like where it should be and like leave it for like the concrete finishers like do their thing and like completely like smooth it out and whatnot. But a lot of construction stuff, like I use like a lot of power tools like hammer drills, chip and hammers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I get to drive a buggy around the job site sometimes.
Oh, nice.
It's really fun. But I was honestly kind of intimidated about working that kind of job because I quit smoking weed completely, like any like THC. But I didn't really care about that. The thing that I cared about was like moving 4 hours away to Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Yeah.
And just like completely like changing my life, but honestly, like everybody's scared of change, but I got used to it pretty quick because the people I work with were actually pretty cool and we all got along pretty quickly, and I actually got a nickname on my second day.
Yeah, what's your nickname?
J-Dog.
J-Dog.
Yeah, everybody on the job site calls me J-Dog.
Love it.
Nobody uses my government name. It's just J-Dog, and
That's cool.
it's love, It's
Yeah.
like why would they wouldn't call me J-Dog if they didn't like me,
Yeah, I absolutely.
I thought your nickname was Sexy.
So there's this one coworker. We have this like running inside joke where it's just like whenever we'll like go past each other, like when we're just like I don't know next to each other, we'll just be like it's so funny and it's so stupid, but we'll just be like sexy. Sexy. Like, hey, did you say something? I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Sexy. It's just so funny.
So, what are your kind of goals and aspirations for like the future? Like, what do you want to because obviously you're pouring concrete in Iowa. What do you want to do like past that, or like how much longer do you want to do that? What are your kind of plans?
Yeah, so I definitely I'm having a good time doing construction, but it's definitely not something I want to do for the rest of my life or like no longer than 5 years. My biggest goal and aspiration in life is recently, I dropped a good amount of money on a brand new MacBook Pro. And what I'm trying to utilize for that is Photoshop, photo editing, but mainly video editing.
Sure.
I have this passion for like sports editing and stuff like that, like making like cool like editing clips like you'll see on like TikTok and stuff, like because a lot of them they'll get like a lot of views.
Yeah.
And like a lot of likes and attention. So I want to like try and master the art of video editing to a professional level along with Photoshop and try to get hired based off that, like kind of like build my own portfolio because it's doable. You don't need a college degree at all to do this, because like I heard this like one person, he made like this like one edit about the show and he literally got a job from HBO.
Really?
Or some company like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Like if you like put yourself out there and make good content, companies will reach out to you. And my biggest goal and aspiration right now is to be able to switch from having to work a construction job because the money I'm getting, it's really good, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. But I want to like kind of make that same amount of money doing video
something
editing.
Creative.
Exactly, doing something creative. And right. I mean, and honestly, on a deeper level, my biggest goal in life that I'm trying to achieve is just become a level of like financially like independent or financially like comfortable to the point where like I'll never have to worry about like anything that comes my way financially, like bills, medical emergencies, anything like that. If I want something, I can just like buy it without having to think about it and stuff.
Sure.
Just like be comfortable with money. Like I don't want to like I don't have to be a millionaire, but like I don't want to be broke either.
Yeah, love that. I love that. So, before we wrap up here, where can the people find you on social media? Like, what social media do you? Because right now, Tell the fans where they can find you and follow you.
Yeah, so on Instagram, my username is just Jaiden_5. _5 because it's the same number of my favorite basketball player, Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah,
he's
Edwards.
that dog, yeah. But, yeah, so I'm present on Instagram, Facebook, Letterboxd, TikTok, Jaiden Legit. I make edits, and sometimes I'll do, like, food reviews and talk about sports. And I have a secondary Instagram page, too, where I post a lot of my content. It's called Clark County Wolves. So if you're a Wolves fan, go ahead and give that a follow.
Yeah, Timberwolves fan. But yeah. Anyway, I think that about concludes episode 3 of the Brothers Duel Podcast, the long-awaited Jaiden Smith interview. Jaiden, do you have any other additional closing thoughts, concerns, anything else you want to say to the people?
YOLO swag vibes for life.
YOLO swag vibes for life. And that's where we'll end it. So thank you all for listening to episode 3 of the Brothers Duel Podcast. We'll have an episode 4 out for y'all next month, so stay on the lookout for that, and have a great rest of your day, y'all.